said grassroots movements don't go anywhere hasn't seen a group like this. So thank you, everybody. And I have to tell you that it's not only in McHenry County. My district, the 6th Congressional District with Peter Rosling, covers parts of 5 counties. I have 2 townships in Lake County, I have townships in McHenry County, I have townships in Kane County, I have almost all of DuPage County, and I also have a couple townships in Cook County. So we're kind of all over the place because some crazy person decided to gerrymander the district way back when, thinking that they would keep it safe for Peter Rosling and the Republicans. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I ran last cycle against Peter Rosling, so some of you do know me, some of you in here have worked with me or for me and helped me, and I really appreciate what you did. I didn't get into that race until October of 2015, when I was asked to run. So I got in right at the time we had to get petitions signed and get me on the ballot. At the very last minute, we got over double the amount of petition signatures in 2 weeks. That's how enthusiastic people were. I had a primary candidate. I beat my primary candidate by 71% of the vote. But I really didn't have fundraising help, so I wasn't doing a lot of fundraising until January of 2016 against an incumbent who had a multi-million-dollar budget. Given that fact, I was able, with about $120,000 total, considering the primary and the general election, I was able to not only have 5 phone banks running, send out 5 mailers, have hundreds of volunteers, and get a total average of 42% of the vote. Woo! I don't know how many of you know the Cook report, but they tell you how Democratic or how Republican various districts are. When the 6th district was drawn, it was about a plus 18 Republican. When I ran in the last cycle, it was a plus 4 Republican. Wow. This cycle, it is a plus 2. Oh. Okay? So, we've got that going for us. We're on the national radar. Whether you like the DCCC or don't like them, at least they're interested in this race this time. They weren't last time. They were too busy with Duckworth and Brad Schneider and my good friend Raja Krishnamurthy. This time, they're interested. So they're kind of hanging out there to see what's going to happen in the primary. I'm not waiting for them to get involved because I don't personally care whether they decide to jump in or not. I, this time around, have a consortium that includes 2 former DC lobbyists, 2 former Bernie representatives who were in the caucus for Bernie, nationally known media group that all of this is based in Chicago. We're already on everything, and we've already started rebranding this campaign. We've taken the seed that all of you planted for me in the last cycle, and it's ready to burst wide open and grow. So we are going to have a complete relaunching of my campaign, of my website. You can go to my website. It's AmandaHowlandForCongress.com. There is some teasers on there right now. You can sign up to volunteer. There's also a link to contribute, but it's not 100% active until we make our big launch May 1st, because we're going to have a video coming out. We're going to have national media. We're going to have this big launch on social media, Twitter and Facebook, and also my new website. So that's where the campaign's going. To bank on what other people just said before me, Jack Franks is absolutely correct. We start building this party at the local level from the ground up. It doesn't happen from the top down. And what all of you are doing with the grassroots movement right now, and I'm seeing this kind of enthusiasm in every county that I've gone to talk to so far, which is a darn good thing. What you are doing is you're getting people elected locally. Those locally elected people are helping people that are statewide and national, and it compounds itself. So the bottom up is the right way to go. What you're doing is great. I absolutely applaud everything that's going on. I got into this race the first time because I believe that we have a lot of things happening in this country that shouldn't be happening. It's gotten progressively worse. What Amaya just said about the divide and conquer, alienating people, my God, look what's happening in Washington. What are they doing? I go to Washington twice a year. I'm a trustee at the College of Lake County. And the chaos there, when I was there in February, people are just going crazy. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle things. And everybody is looking over their shoulder because they feel like somebody's going to stab them in the back if they don't say or do the right thing. And every time you turn around and look on the news, somebody's pointing the finger at somebody else and trying to make someone look bad or feel bad. That's not what this country was founded on. We're founded that we're supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, for the people, not of the wealthy, for the corporations, and by the corporations and the wealthy. That's just not the United States. So I'm running, again, with my name recognition and my contacts from before to move this thing forward, and this time we're going to take out Peter Rostam. And he is worried. He says he's not, but he is. He's lockstep with Trump. We tried to visit him in my role as a trustee when I was in Washington in February for the legislative summit. And once again, for the 8th year in a row, he would not meet with the college president, with the board chairman, and with the board members who went there to talk to him. We got a junior staffer. He does that every year. I know you've seen all the stuff going on, Indivisible, all the other protests. He does not come out and talk to people. He will not meet with anyone who is not like-minded. And he continues to say that he is with the Trump agenda. He wants to do away with health care, with the Affordable Care Act. The only thing he's interested in is rewriting the tax code. But what he wants to do to rewrite the tax code is rewrite it so that the people at the top and the corporations get the big breaks. That doesn't help the rest of us. Barney Franks once said, this theory of all boats rise is kind of crazy because if you're at the bottom and you don't have a boat, you drowned. All boats don't rise. So I'm asking those of you in here who want to work with me or who worked with me in the past and want to continue, please get on board. Watch my website. Watch for my opening. I've got a little teaser here that gives some information about my background. I didn't want to take up your whole time talking about my personal background, but like Amaya, I grew up in a family that didn't have much. And my mom was single until I was almost 11. She got divorced when I was 5. I had a little sister. I watched her scratch and scrounge to make sure that the two of us were taken care of. She made most of my clothing, and my sister got the hand-me-downs. And yet, in spite of that, I was able to put myself through an undergraduate degree with scholarships and loans, and 2 graduate degrees with scholarships and loans, and also a law degree. And that isn't happening now in this country. And I want that back for your children, for your grandchildren. Education is one of the fundamentally most important things that we can do for our society. If people aren't educated, stuff like Trump happens. Thank you. If you want one of these, I've got them. I'm happy to hand them out. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Yes?
I just have a question. What is your idea of to help people like my son is burdened with college debt? I don't think he'll ever pay it back. It's $160,000 right now, and it's growing. And his wife has the exact same amount.
I still have law school debt.
So what are they supposed to do? They'll never be able to own a house. They'll never. I mean, somehow we have to have something that helps.
Yes.
What we have to do is the exact opposite of what my opponent is doing, which is he has obstructed every single attempt to change college loan structure or to allow students to refinance at very minimal interest rates. He's voted against every single bill. There has to be a way to work toward either forgiveness of some of that loans, to lower the interest rates by refinancing, to take away some of the compounded interest that just keeps growing. People are paying anywhere from 8 to 13% interest. It's crazy.
And it's interest upon interest.
Yeah, it compounds. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's absolutely crazy. And that shouldn't be happening.
and now they have the Parent Plus loan, so the kids aren't even taking out the loans, the parents are.
Right, and then
So
they're
their
sticking
debt
the
is now
parents.
my debt.
Yes, and then they're sticking the parents with it too, so it absolutely has to change.
Like in the IRS, after 10 years, you finally are forgiven for anything that's left for them if they can't collect it.
And there were some things on the table like that, and again, my opponent has voted every one of them down.
But that should be, I would think, for college debt.
I agree, and the other thing we need to do moving forward is find a way to make colleges less expensive, or the trial program that New York is doing right now is making colleges free under certain circumstances.
Thank you.
I'm a former educator, so education is real high on my list. Anybody else? Yeah.
What's your stance on campaign funding?
If we don't get do away with Citizens United, I think we're all crazy. That would be good. Government now has become such, and again, like Amaya said, it's become not who's most qualified or who's best for the job, but who can throw the most money at it and buy the seat. That's wrong. Again, that's not government of the people, for the people, by the people. And as an attorney, and I'm licensed to practice in front of the U.S. Supreme Court, when that Citizens United decision came down, I about fell off the chair. It made no sense to me, and it still makes no sense. And the only way we can change it is legislatively now.
So then are you in favor of publicly financing all federal campaigns?
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
It's the only idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I was going to suggest the same thing.
Yeah, you've got to level the playing field. We cannot have these people like Browner and Trump and others out there with their millions and millions of dollars buying a seat, even though someone else is much better qualified for that seat.
And the corporation's paying for them too.
It's not a democracy.
Also, if you got into the House, is it the Ways and Means Committee that can release people's tax returns? And if so, would you want them to release Trump's?
Oh. Peter Rosslin has voted against, again, just in the last 2 weeks, said, well, I don't want Trump to have to release his tax returns because if we force him to do that, now, I went to law school. He was in law school the same time I was. And he was known as, I won't even tell you what he was known as. But he was a pain in the neck in high school. He was arrogant and a pain in the neck in high school. He said that he will not push for Trump to release his tax returns because we're going down a slippery slope if we do. And if we push for Trump to release his tax returns, what's to prevent the IRS from coming after each one of you to release your tax returns? And I looked at him, I said, who cares? I mean, they see him anyway. If anybody's going to care, like nothing to hide. Who cares? But that's his stance. It's opening this slippery slope, and they're coming after all the big words and new words. Anybody else? Yes.
Do you have a particular platform?
Yes, I do, and when my website goes active, with everything's going to be on it with the big launch in addition to the video. But yes, I do, and some of that's discussed on this.
Okay.
So I'll walk around and stick these out, for anybody who wants to take a look at them. But thank you so much for your time and attention.